this video, I'm going to be going over a bunch of creatures that they need to add to Ark Survival Evolved. Also, before we start, I know I'm not going to pronounce a lot of these names, or I'm not going to try to, because I know you guys are just going to roast me in the comments section. Also, if you have any ideas on what these creatures can do, or you think that there should be other creatures that I didn't have on this list, then let me know with a comment down below. The first creature on the list is the Siberian Unicorn. It is basically a gigantic rhino, even bigger than the current woolly rhino in the game. As you can see, it's covered in fur and has one giant horn on the front of it. I think this would be a really cool addition to some of the Arctic biomes. Next is the Brachiosaurus. So this is a gigantic sauropod. I'm surprised why it's not in the game already, considering it is a very famous dinosaur. As well as there's a mod for it, which is the footage I am using here. After that, we have the Titanolampas, which is basically a humongous camel. As you can see from the size comparison here, it makes the regular camel look small and it makes a human look tiny. After that, we have the Edmontosaurus. This is basically a huge herbivore. It's kind of like the Iguanodon, but even bigger. And I think we need more creatures like this in Ark. After that, we have the Ceratosaurus. I don't really understand why this one isn't already in the game, as it's a pretty iconic dinosaur. As you can see, it is a mid-sized theropod that has a horn on its head, which is definitely pretty cool. After that, we have the Apatosaurus. This is basically a giant sauropod. It's not as big as all the other big sauropods, but it's kind of like in the mid-sized sauropod range. This would probably be bigger than a Diplo and the Neomargosaurus, but I think it'd be pretty cool in the game. Next is the Tasmanian tiger. Now, this is a pretty iconic animal because it went extinct pretty recently. So recent, in fact, that there's actually photographic evidence of it. This would probably just be a small little creature, kind of the size of the Hyenodon, so it wouldn't really be that big. After that is the elephant bird. This is a humongous bird that, can't fly, but could probably run extremely fast, and would be a really good travel mount. After that is the stag moose. This is basically just a giant moose with this really weird antlers. I think it'd be kind of cool to have something more than just the Megalosaurus. After that is the Paraloxodon. This is basically a gigantic elephant. I'm pretty sure it's even bigger than the mammoth, which would be a pretty cool addition to the game, because of course we have the mammoth, but we don't have anything like an elephant that has no fur. So this would definitely be pretty cool. It's also, as you can see right here, compared to a Prehistoric, it is really big, so it obviously could be way bigger than the current mammoth in the game. Next on the list, we have the Acrocanthosaurus. This would be a giant theropod. As of course, there's a mod of it, and so I have footage of it to show you here. And it would be pretty cool, and it'd probably be bigger than a T-Rex. After that, we have the Gorops. This is basically just a giant hippo. We don't have any hippo-like creature in the game. As you can see, it'd be pretty cool right here. It's just a little bit bigger than a regular hippo, so it wouldn't be that big, but I think it'd be a cool addition to the game. Next is the Gigaraptor, which is this huge theropod looking thing. It's not really like any other dinosaur. As you can see, it'd probably be an extremely fast and really huge amount. It just looks really big and it looks extremely cool. After that, we have the Suchomimus. This was in the community voting and was in the top 10. It didn't end up winning, but I think it is a cool creature, even though it didn't end up winning. It's gotta be an alternative to the Bronix, but it'd be a little bit bigger than the Bronix and have some new abilities as well. Next, we have this prehistoric giraffe type thing, as you can see right here. It has some weird like horns or weird structures going on with its head, and I think it's a bit smaller than an actual giraffe, but I think it'd be cool because we don't have any giraffe-like creatures in the game. After that, we have the Paralotitan, I think it's called. It's basically just another giant sauropod. Still think they need to have a lot more sauropods in the game because there's only 3 currently, and of course there's a lot more, and then other creature variants there's a lot more of. So I just think some more sauropods would be nice. Next is the American lion, which is a prehistoric lion that was found in America, and it's bigger than the current lions that live today, and it was definitely a cool creature. Next is the steppe bison. It is basically just a giant version of the regular bison, also prehistoric variant. We don't have any bison type creatures in the game, and I think it'd be cool to have some more creatures like this, the bison, as they would be pretty cool. After that, we have the steppe mammoth. I believe this is just a bigger version of the regular mammoth in the game. So this, would just be another alternative that you could find to the mammoth that would be, in the Arctic areas roaming with the mammoth as well. After that, we're going to have the Argentinosaurus. This is a humongous sauropod. It's actually one of the biggest sauropods or biggest creatures to ever walk the earth. And of course, I think a creature like this definitely needs to be an Ark, because it'd just be really cool having a massive sauropod like that. And it'd probably be a little bit smaller than the Titanosaur. This next one is a pretty unique creature. It's basically like a theropod that is also a sloth. It kind of looks similar to the therizinosaur as it has these small claws and is furry, but it's a bit different than that, and I think it's a pretty unique looking creature and would be pretty cool in Ark. After that we have the Gorgonops. This was also in the top 10, so this would be around the size, or a little bit bigger than a saber-tooth, but smaller than a Thyla, and then you could be able to ride it as a really fast and powerful ground mount. Next is the Astroceratops. This is just another variant of the Triceratops. It'd just be another, unique variant of the trike that you could find. After that is the Quinzalosaurus. I think it's probably not how you pronounce it at all, but it's basically like the duck variant of a theropod, and it'd be pretty cool as another theropod in the game. It'd be a little bit smaller and probably be like a really fast variant of a theropod. After that is the Leviathan Melville. This is just a gigantic killer whale. This thing would be probably one of the biggest creatures in the sea. After that would be the Prehistoric Walrus. This is, we don't have any prehistoric versions of the walrus, and I think it would be a cool addition to have something like that in the game. As you can see, compared to a regular walrus, it's even bigger than a regular one, which would be cool just to have something like that that would be on the ground and sea. After that is like the Tanystropus. This was also in the top 10 vote. This would just be a smaller creature with a super long neck, and then in the poles actually have the ability to get fish with its neck. Next is this kind of deer looking thing. It has this huge horn on the front of it and then the two horns on the back. So it would be kind of like, thing that would roam so the grasslands and all that. After that is the Diprotodon. It's basically like this gigantic mole thing that would like dig into the ground. And it's pretty big as well, so it'd probably be like an aggressive or neutral creature. As you can see right here, compared to like a kangaroo and stuff like that, it's huge. After that is the Quagga. This is species similar to the Equus, like another horse type thing, but this is actually more of a zebra-horse hybrid type animal. Then we have the Andrewsarchus. This would be a giant carnivore that would probably be bigger than the Thyla, but it would act kind of like a Thyla or a saber-tooth or that kind of dinosaur would, walk on four legs and maybe be solo hunter. But yeah, next is this weird rhino thing. It's basically a rhino with two horns, which I think looks really cool and is a pretty unique looking creature. Of course, we have the woolly rhino in the game, but this would also be a cool addition. After that, I don't really know how to say the name, but it's just a giant sauropod, as you can see right here. Not as big as the Argentinosaurus, but a little bit smaller, but it'd definitely be a cool addition to the game. Of course, I still don't think there are enough sauropods in the game. Then we have the Hatzegopteryx. Now this is the creature that I put in for the Lost Island creature submission that of course didn't end up winning, but I think it's a cool creature. It is kind of like a Quetzal alternative that would be a bit bigger than the Quetzal. I think they should make it bigger than the Quetzal in the game, and then also introduce some new cool abilities as a Quetzal alternative. If you did enjoy that video, then make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Also, I just opened a new merch store, so if you'd like to go buy some merch, and I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure to join the Discord server and follow me on Twitter. There'll be links in the description as well as that. But thanks for watching, and bye.